Welcome to day 50 of the Sacred Pause. Thank you to Pearl Reich for our beautiful voyage into an ocean of love and imagination last night. Pearl, you always go one step beyond, and I'd like to thank you, dear sister, for your infinite creativity and for all that you bring to this amazing group. I'd like to start today with a short poem called Yesterday. Where did yesterday go? Will I ever get to meet you again, my love? Did you sail on the breeze to a land lost in time? Or are you here in my heart, just waiting to be unwrapped again? Like the quantum gift, which can always be opened. So many speak of you so fondly, of how much richer in beauty you were than today, while others ponder your darkness, repeating the same old story over and over again, and each time it grows in grandeur and becomes like a great dam stopping our sacred stream from flowing. Oh, to burst that dam, my love, so we can flow effortlessly into the ocean again. Thank you. Now today I wanted to start a 5-day plan, which will teach us to take responsibility for our lives and allow us to make the right choices, which, if done with focus and in sacred space, will have an enormous impact on our lives and our destiny. Our cultural ideologies lead us to believe that our biggest choices in life are which school we go to, what we call our children, what subject we study, who we marry, which career we take, which place we live in, or whether we should get a divorce or not. And yet, through the eyes of spirit, these aspects live at serpent level in the reptilian brain, so only provide physical milestones on our true learning journey. Now, at a higher spiritual altitude, there are far more profound choices we need to make between these milestones, which may never really be thought about at a deeper spiritual level by many people. Incredibly, the majority do not even see these 5 aspects as choices or responsibilities. They just observe them in the flow as they row their boat gently down the stream of life. However, we've been building our ability to observe ourselves in hummingbird and eagle to give us perspective. And at this level, it's very clear to see that if we row our boats gently down the stream, the worst thing we can do is just sit there admiring the wake behind us. So, starting today, we're going to help you make 5 big observations and decisions which can steer our life in a far more positive direction. So on day one of this 5-day program, we will start by turning woes into wisdoms. You know that poor me story that you've told hundreds of times at every dinner party, or perhaps to everyone you've ever met on the first day of knowing them since you became an adult. In fact, you've told it so many times that you feel almost naked if you haven't brought it up within an hour of meeting someone. This story sits in our ego and is usually provoked when someone else tells their story of woe, and something in our limbic brain suddenly decides, I've got to compete, I've got to tell my story. Maybe the other person will say, I think it's important you know that, before telling you some story about the time they trekked across Mount Vesuvius and it suddenly erupted and they had to run away from the lava as it chased them all the way across Italy. And in that moment, your ego is already jostling for position on the story about the earthquake you felt in San Francisco or in Mexico City, or that's just an example. It probably is more likely your story is one of being a victim of bullying. Maybe you were sick as a child. Maybe as an adult you always tell everyone you're super sensitive, so you can't go near big crowds of people or people of too low an energy. It might be something which really hurts in your heart. These stories often have done in the past and still live with us, and maybe you lost a parent early in life, or maybe you got chronic fatigue as an adult after a trauma. Well, beautiful people, as of today, we will turn this story into something far more positive, because a sad story only weakens us. And this is not to disrespect anyone who's involved in that story, whether it's parents or loved ones you've lost. Today, we need to turn it into a power story. No more poor me or poor my family. Now we're going to drop the negative and the past tense and alchemize this story into a destiny which will help us to become far greater and far stronger. You see, negative things happen in our life to provide opportunities for growth. Now, my sympathy story is when my parents were divorced, and I actually have 2 or 3. Probably the other one is the endless allergies that I had when I was a child. And yes, both of these are very serious matters, but it's very important to me and to you that we alchemize these stories, and that I stop pulling out a 4-page printout on everything I can't eat every time I go to a party, because it's not winning me many friends, to be honest. Yes, we're going to put these stories in the spiritual stream as of today. We shall honor them, but we shall also accept it's time to write a new story. My brothers and sisters, we are wisdom sharers who raise the vibration, not doom-mongers who lower it. So I'd like you to get that story that is there in your heart or at the back of your mind, or probably in your ego actually, and clear your head right now. I'd like you to visualize yourself rowing your boat gently down a beautiful stream of love. Now the water in this stream is the sacred water of transformation. Smell the flowers at the side of the stream. Listen to the water. Feel the sun on your neck. Take a deep breath in. And I want you to see that story playing out behind the boat, in the wake. And as you do, I want you to visualize a bubble of light going around that story. Now please thank that bubble for all it has done to serve you. Honor it, but tell it that now it's time for this story to go in the past, in this version. Tell it it's time to move on. It's time for you to grow stronger. Now watch that bubble drift over to you and just see how light it is. And just pop the bubble with your hands and watch it dissolve into millions of tiny little water particles and fall effortlessly into the sacred water of the stream of love. Now I want you to open sacred space. Place your hands on your heart. Place your hands in front of your heart in the prayer position and just open sacred space by moving your hands up together past your mouth, past your forehead, and set that intention of opening a sacred bubble around you. And push your hands up into your 8th chakra and spread them out wide in a bubble shape like an eagle, so you're covered in that sacred bubble. Invite in all the people who are important to you, the wise ones, the ancient ones, your lineage. Maybe some other sacred people, depending on your background, whoever you want. And set the intention of rewriting that story. And as you do, please place your hands on your heart. And write that new story. You don't need a pen, you just need yourself. And go through the heart. Now, just to give you an example, for me, with my allergies, it might be, I am a healthy eater who uses the wisdom I have gained to advise people on all allergens and nutrition. For my parents' divorce story, it might be, I am an adult who sees the beauty and transformation of old relationships dying, so I can help new relationships blossom. But it really depends on your story. And if you need any help, please feel free to contact any member of the IU or myself to help you to write this sentence. But try and do it in sacred space. If you need more time, I'll leave you to do this after you've listened to me. My brothers and sisters, it's time to drop our old stories, which no longer serve us. it's time to pass on our wisdom. This one little story might seem small in detail compared to getting a mortgage or getting married or moving to a new place. But this one story, or maybe there's a few, has a massive impact on our soul destiny. And I promise you that it will help your spiritual house to have a far more solid foundation if you can dissolve the old story and turn it into a point of power. To live to your highest capacity in this lifetime, your soul needs to sing its sweetest tunes and not constantly give out a B-side blub story which lowers your vibration. If you enter any project, relationship, any meeting, or start any day, it's so important that people taste your sweetest nectar. Feel the beauty of your gift. So when times are tough, they don't add any more weight to your spiritual backpack. So you can look at yourself deep into your own eyes in the mirror and say, "This will never defeat me." So it can serve you and other people in a very positive way. Tonight, Mary Curtis will celebrate our 50th day by taking us to see Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom, to help us receive even more wisdom on this subject and perhaps many other areas. Thank you, Mary. Very excited to do that. Before you begin, please open sacred space and send healing to all the people whose lives have been blighted by domestic violence. So many stories right now of sadness around young families, young children, wives, even husbands. Please also send your love and healing to Charles Brown, who is grieving his mother. And please send great love and healing to Angela on behalf of Nick. Please also send great healing to Chris, to Vicky, to Pam, and Peggy, to Claudine, to Carla, to Ellie and Simone, to Stella, and to Owen, who is the son of Stella, and Owen has gone missing right now, and let's send Owen and Stella lots of love, and let's pray that Owen is in a good place and can be found. Please also send love and healing to Bodhi, to Carla, and also to Barry. And please send our love and healing to Taya, on behalf of our beautiful sister Ekaterina. And please send your love and healing to our sister Ruth, who needs our love right now. And I'm going to add Jeffrey to that list because most of those names came from Jeffrey, our brother Jeffrey. Jeffrey, thank you for doing that. It's so nice that you give us these names so we can help them. My beautiful people, have a blessed meditation. The revolution has begun. Let's evolve with honor and compassion. Yours, in peace and love, Peter. Namaste.